Hi, my name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Today I'm taking a quick look at the new SWAM String Sections, the Ambiente Room Simulator, and the major update to all of the older SWAM instruments. So, let's Oj! Before we kick off this show, I just want to let you all know that this is only a quick look at these new releases and updates, as I'll be doing 2 massive live streams this week, breaking down everything so you don't have to read the manuals. Developer Audio Modeling changed the music creation scene when they first introduced their SWAM modeled sounds on the world. Their original collection of 33 string, brass and woodwind modelled instruments were first available on the desktop and then on iOS in 2021. The SWAM technology has also been featured in Jordan Rudess's GeoShred and is loved by many. The beauty of SWAM modelling is its incredible low memory footprint, especially when many iOS users are constantly juggling space and RAM on their devices. But it's the incredible sounds that always steal the show. In 2024, Audio Modeling released the SWAM String Sections on desktop computers, and they sounded stunning. Not only that, but they came along with the added Ambiente Room Simulator technology, meaning you could have a large space of your instruments and move them all around that very space as they connected over Open Sound Control Protocol. Well, today Audio Modeling has brought all 4 of the SWAM String Sections to iOS, including Viola, Violin, Double Bass and Cello. But wait, there's more. They have also released the Ambiente app, so you can load other AUV3 instruments into those spaces along with your SWAM instruments. Finally, they have updated all of the previous 33 SWAM instruments with the Ambiente OSC protocol, so these also can be included into those spaces that you create. This is massive. All 4 SWAM String Sections are now available on the iOS App Store for the introductory price of $29.99. Now, this is for a limited time only. You can also save a bit of money by grabbing all 4 of them in a bundle for the introductory price of $99, again for a limited time. Ambiente is also available at the introductory price of $19.99, again for a limited time. And all of the other SWAM instruments are also on sale for $19.99 for a limited time. They're also available in bundles, so go and check them out to save a little bit of money. Well, okay, now it's time to check out a demo of all this coolness in action. Okay, so let's take a look at how these apps work. Now, once you've installed your old SWAM instruments and installed these new string sections and Ambiente, you'll need to do a couple of things before you're able to use the Room Simulator functionality. And that is enable the OSC protocol. And that is done through the networking on your iPad. If I go into settings here, just to show you what's going on, I'm in privacy and security. And if I scroll down here, you'll get to the section of local network. And you'll see at the top here, Ambiente has already been activated on this local network here. So just to show you what happens, if I open this up now, Ambiente, I've turned it off there. Let's search for it. And if I open it up here, I'm going to normally see up the top here, we've got communication between instances failed. To ensure this is working, you'll need to actually have that turned on. That is a thing. So the first time you'll load this up, if it's not already been loaded up, you'll get an option. I'm going to show you that in a second just because I have these installed already. So now if I come back over, now if I try and load this over here, in an instance of AUM, let's show you what happens here. So we'll look for Ambiente, load it up, and then open it. Again, you've got this communication between instances failed because you'll need to activate this for it to work. And even when you open it up, so we've just got this A1 external, okay? So just be aware of this before you do it. Now, I'm going to show you what's going to pop up if you use the original SWAM instruments because I haven't loaded all of these yet. There's 33 of them. But if we come in here and let's do a search for our SWAM instruments, we'll just, what do we look for? We'll look for SWAM, maybe a tenor sax. Now, if I load this up, we're going to open this up, and again, we've got this communication instance failed. Now, to get rid of it, you can't do it in the standalone version. Sorry, in the AUV3 version. You'll need to open it in the standalone version. So let's do that. We're going to pull down and look for tenor sax. There it is. We'll open it up here and you'll get this message. Allow SWAM tenor sax to find devices on local networks. Remember, this is local networks, yeah, that you're using here. So hit allow and that should all be good now. So you'll need to do this with all of these if they've got old SWAM instruments because they have been updated and all of these new ones. So now if we come over here and reload this in, so let's see what happens. Tenor sax. And we're all good. We're able to load it properly. And look, we've got this new section up here, room and positioning. So now we can move this around our new Ambiente studio. Now we're going to get into how exactly all of that works. But again, remember I said we're going to do full tutorials on that this week. So keeping that in mind. And if we come back over here now to our settings, you should be able to see if we scroll down to SWAM, there is that tenor sax there. You can turn these on and off as you will. Once you've done this once, they will appear all in here. So there is that. Okay, let's load up some stuff because these instruments just sound fantastic. Now, of course, I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's bring in our audio units. So we're going to search for sections. So here are all 4 of them. We've got our cello section. We'll load up the also the violin section. So the other one's the viola. Let's do that one. Section, viola, and the double bass. These are the 4 that we can load up here. So section, there they are. Now, all of these are now loaded in to our AUM or whatever DAW that you're using. And when you open up for the first time, make it large, close this out. You'll see we've got this listening room up the top. This is the first major thing. So here we can see we've got cellos, violins, violas. We can move these instruments around. It's pretty damn wild. So the bass one you'll see here hasn't been connected. So here we go, got it. I'm going to need to open this one up. So don't show this again. Now you're getting to see exactly what happens here, double bass. Now I just reinstalled this. This is why. So let's look for double bass. The double bass section, open it up, and it's asking, boom, I'm still on the beta here, so let's just do that. Got it, all good. Now we can close this down. You only have to do this once, just remember. So now when we load this in here, the double bass section, And now come back to our cello. We've got 4 instruments in this. Look at this. We can move these around the space. How cool is this? It is just wild. And because we're using this OSC technology, if I open any of these instruments and make this large, close this, you can access this across all of these instruments. It's just brilliant. It really is cool. And you've got a selection of different rooms you can choose. So you got like this close mic room. You've got a Studio C, like a church, and you've so then we've got Studio B, Studio A. You have room sizes, so you can flick these through the rooms. This is like a medium theater, concert hall, large. So you've got a whole bunch of spaces down here. Plus we have absorption materials. So the materials that are absorbing the what's in your studio. Really, really clever stuff, yeah? And of course, I'm going to go through all of this in detail in another show. You've got the tech here, so you can look at all moving the distance and see how many players are in this. So this is another view of this. You've got a list if you want to look at it in a list view. So you've got multiple ways to look at this if you want. We've got templates up here. So a whole bunch of templates in here. Advanced settings, there's a whole lot of settings in here, and you've got your learning, so you've got a video in here if you really want to watch the video and check that out. And also, so it's just a wonderful, wonderful app. I can't tell you how cool this thing is. So we've got some manage room sources, and we can close this out at any time. So that's built in there to the SWAM instruments. So let's chuck on a keyboard quickly and go to input and find our keyboard. And what else do I have? Do I have anything connected to this? I probably have some stuff running in the background. Of course, we've got a sax in the background, and we've got Ambiente. So let's close that out. So the major difference with all of these too is that we can have multiple instances of these cellos. So we've currently got 5, 3, 4, 5. So you can move through these. And you've got all of the other stuff that comes along with the SWAM instruments. So polyphony, harmonics, alternate fingering, your bow lift, tremolo, play modes, and expressivity. You've got play modes in here for right hand, polyphony, timbre options, pitch options for micro tuning and master tuning, and a whole bunch of advanced stuff down here, which we've been waiting for with a lot of these apps. So if we come up here and close this menu, of course, we can hit our presets. We can save presets. We've got our other stuff in here, MIDI, so we can MIDI learn everything. Of course, these are fantastic with an expression pedal, and you can use just a volume pedal. I'll go through that in our big show that we'll be doing. There's apps you can use to express stuff. You can assign stuff to your mod wheel. There are ways to make stuff sound super expressive with modeling of these sounds. This isn't, Audio Modeling's first roadshow. They make beautiful sounds, and the footprint of these is so low. It's only like, it's just minimal megabytes. So much like the other SWAM instruments, you've got the option to change out here and use the MPE control that's built onto the screen. So that is your cello selection. Let's just turn that one off there. Violins, of course, we'll connect my keyboard quickly. There we go. So you can hear straight away the large number of violins in there. Such a difference compared to the original violins. And again, with the room simulator, we've got, what are we on now? Is this violins? So we can move those around the room. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're hearing this sound when I did that while I'm holding a note. Listen. So we're getting some artifacts there and stuff. And I know I've been on the betas of these for a long time, so I've seen all the jazz and all the changes of what's going on. And now that's fair. You got to understand, nobody is actually in a studio recording this stuff, and while they're playing violin, walking around the studio. So you are going to get those kind of effects. The thing is, if you're playing stuff, you want to organize where you want your stuff and then play it. It's ridiculous to expect there not to be that. We're running over a network to create this kind of thing. So if I now bring back in here this cello, make sure it's still connected to my thinger. Yeah, we're all good. And come in here. So now we've got our cellos way over the side there. Wicked, right? Now let's bring in the viola. So we'll connect this to the keyboard as well. Boom. Violas, and let's see where they are spaced right now. So they are up here. We can bring them right forward. Let's put these violins right up there. Just to so you can hear what's going on. Double bass, let's bring that in as well. So we'll add that into the mix. Now, of course, I'm playing the same parts here, of course, yeah. So you're not getting to hear that all in its glory with multiple parts. But let's check out where this bass is. Let's take these out of the mix so you can hear that double bass. And again, wild stuff. Now, I just want to show you something else. So let's just leave all of these as they are, and let's just quickly introduce a MIDI track here. And we're going to create a piano motifs. Right. So there's our piano motifs. We're going to make sure this is in the key of C. We'll do a C major just to make sure. Let's turn that up and hit generate. And now we'll just throw in a piano tech, and we're going to send this out here. Now, what I want to show you, what's really, really cool, this is Ambiente, yeah? So now we've got that in here. If we load up this, there is no piano in there at all. But this is what we can do. We can load up Ambiente in here, like so. And now when I open up this version of Ambiente, and see, it's saying connection failed because what do? We got to turn it on, don't we? We got to turn it back on. I turned it off earlier, didn't I? There it is. So there we go. It's back on there. Let's get back into our project. Again, you're not going to have to do this once it's turned on. It was just, I'm a bit of a fool, and I had to show you how it works. So here's Ambiente. Let's load up this version, and you'll notice now, here's all our violins, violas, double bass, cello, but we've got this external sound here. So let's just pull out all of the instruments over here, yeah, and if I can do it, so if it'll let me, swipe, there we go, and we'll hit play. We'll just turn up our piano a little bit. And we can move this now around the space. Let's bring in our instruments. That was the bass. The viola, you can hear where they're positioned. I've got too much running in the background, so ignore that. We've got stuff running in the background. That's me. I'm always doing all this junk. I think I've got LumaFusion, a bunch of things running. And we got that cello running there too, so. this essentially means that I can pretty much load anything I want now. Yeah, I could come in here and load a scalar in here. Let's do a scalar control, and let's just put in, I don't know, some kind of, we'll put in another piano. Yeah, so we'll just put in another piano and play some chords because we're just using a C scale. So we'll just use another piano tech, and we'll send this scalar out to piano tech just to, oh, we should actually use something else. Actually, we'll use the guitars that are in there. So, I mean, you can use this with any AUV3. Let's use the guitars in here. So we'll hold down, select, and classical guitar, maybe like a 12 string. And what do we got in here? We only need 2 chords or something. So we'll do a C major scale. And I don't know, let's find an arpeggio, maybe, like a converge, or maybe halve the time, change the timing a little bit. What do we got? Yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. Sweet. Of course, we're going to need to put that on repeat. And now let's bring in another copy of Ambiente. And again, we now have our extra instrument in there. So we can take this guitar over here or right up over there, put the violas in the middle. You can mess this around with however you want. Let's hit play. I have too much going on. I'm just going to pull out this one. There we go, save some DSP. So you get the idea, pretty damn cool. And now you can do this also with, so let's clear out this little project here. Again, we're not going too deep into this today, just remember that. Let's open up an audio track and load up one of the older SWAM instruments that we've already kind of loaded in here, which was, let's do the tenor sax just to show you. And so there's our sax. When you open up this as well, there it is. We'll connect our keyboard like so. Right, so what if we load up another one? What if we load up something like, we got an older one like the trumpet. Load up the trumpet in here and close, and the same thing happens. We need to connect a keyboard again, and off we go. Now, one thing I want to show you quickly is I'm sure this is the case, but we'll make sure here. So now if I load up, say, one of the new sections, let's see what happens there, right? So a double bass section. We'll load this up. Now, when I open here and check, you'll notice that we've only got our double bass in here. They only show up here, and the other instruments aren't appearing in. So there's a way around that. There is definitely a way around that if you want to introduce those into that space. I think this is the way to do it. So if we add Ambiente in here and then come over here, you should see now we've got this external. And we can do the same thing with the other one in here. So we just load up an extension of this. And now when we come back over here into we can do this, yes? Is that right, how I've done that? I'm not sure, but we will cover all of this when we... Or we can just have it separate in the spaces as well. But we will cover all this once we get down into the full show. So, look, incredible, incredible stuff. Let's get out of here for today, and I hope to see you on the next 2 live streams during this week. Okay, let's Oge. So that is a quick look at all of the new SWAM String Sections, the Ambiente Room Simulator, and the updated past SWAM instruments. Please join me here this week on the channel for 2 massive live streams as we take a deep dive look at how they all work. And all of these SWAM instruments and the Ambiente Room Simulator are currently on sale at 33% off for a limited time, which is fantastic as these instruments are absolute class. Are you enjoying the content here on the channel? Well, please let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, please do me a solid and smash the like. Hit the subscribe and ring the bell to keep up with all of the latest app demos and live streams. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member for $1 a month or even a patron via the links below. Okay, let's get out of here for today. Please remember to do what makes you happy. Mistakes make you better and we'll all rise together. Stay awake and let's Oj.